What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. So I get tons of emails asking to like, hey, can you review our shoes? Can you review this? Can you review that? 9 times out of 10, it's nothing that could apply to what I'm doing. So I always just ignore it. Well, this one company reached out and they're like, hey, we're an electronics company. You know, we'd love to send you some products if you want to check them out and show them off on your YouTube channel. So this company, I was like, hey, I looked through your website. You got a lot of stuff that like, I don't know. But I was like, do you have a battery backup? I need a small battery backup for my router because I use a T-Mobile home internet hotspot router, and whenever a power flicker comes, it cuts off and it cuts back on. It takes like 5-10 minutes for it to boot back up. So if I had just some kind of battery backup, that'd be great. And they were like, actually, we have an emergency battery backup. And I'm like, what is that? What is an emergency battery backup? So they were like, okay, we'll send it over. And I'm like, awesome. So I opened the box, and this is what I opened the box to. And I'm slightly, at first I was like, oh no, but then I got to reading the specs. So it'll do 300 watts out of the AC at 110 volts. It'll also do, I think these are 2.4 amp USB chargers. You can turn on USB or AC, so that way you don't have to have everything running all at one time. Then there's an emergency lantern. You can turn that on. And you can also have a car charger out. So like all the plugs you can think of, which is really cool, right? And I'm like, what is this plug right here? I messaged them because they didn't send me any manuals or anything like that. I guess it was like maybe a pre-production unit, I'm not sure. But they sent me the online documentation for it. This is actually a DC input voltage charger that you can directly hook a 12-volt solar panel straight into, and you don't need a charge controller. Apparently there's an internal charge controller, so as long as you have a solar panel between the ranges of, I think it's 8 volts to 20 volts, but they recommend a 12-volt panel because of the voltage swing. You can pipe it straight into there, and there's the correct measurement for the barrel jack, so all I gotta do is buy a barrel jack. I have 12-volt solar panels, so I'll hook one of those up, set it up outside, run a line in, have it piped right into there, and then essentially I have a battery pack, also battery backup, because I can leave my router plugged into this and it won't be an issue. They did say, depending on what you're running off of it, it can output more voltage than you're potentially charging it with, because it's only shipped with a 65 watt charger, a Type-C charger. So if you're using more than 65 watts, as using it as a battery backup device, while it's charging, then it will eventually burn more than it has, so it'll die. And I'm like, this is really interesting because I've seen a lot of these like little small battery devices. This one's kind of heavy. I mean, just for size reference, it's got like a holder spot there and like some fans. But most of them, whenever you're charging them, you can't output any voltage, whereas this one you can. And the really cool part about it is it has a big freaking flashlight on it. So anyway, guys, I've had this now for, I don't know, maybe a week. I've been playing around with it. Me and my brother went and were shining the light outside, like with the bat signal. But then now it's time to actually finally plug it in and let it run. And I told the company I'm going to do a long-term review on this. They're not paying me. I'm not getting any commissions off this. They did give me, I believe, a discount code and their link to their Amazon store. But if you buy one through the link, it doesn't help me. I don't earn any money, which is fine. But they did send this to me for free, just for full transparency. I want to say these things are normally like $100. Last time I looked, there was one of those Amazon $30 off codes, so it was like $60. Yeah. So before we get started, let's go ahead. You hold the power button to turn it on, and that's how it shows you the battery percentage. All these, so it's like about 80% right now. All these will be lit up when it's full, and when you're charging it, it'll be blinking forward like it's charging forward. Then to turn on, say you want to turn on AC, you just hit that button and then AC lights up, and now that is running. And I have tested this with some devices that do burn a little bit more. I plugged a 32-inch TV into it. When you plug this in, the fan will ramp up a little bit. It's slightly noticeable if you're like right here, but when there's no load on it, the fan it's not even running. So I guess it is either some kind of temperature control or something inside there for the fan. But you can turn the AC on. You can turn DC on to have your car charger right there. You can run AC and DC at the same time. Also for the USBs, you can run everything all at the same time if you want to, or just one or the other. So I thought that was also really cool, because you could say if you take this like camping or something, I guess you could charge your phones with it. Then there's the lantern on top, which, you know, I guess if we lose power, that's a thing. I'm not sure. But the flashlight, of course, the camera's not gonna do it justice, but it does a pretty good job. It's a good flashlight. Anyway, let's get into, and of course it does SOS as well. Let's get into the technical specs. I believe they're on the bottom right here. So it has 296 watt hours of capacity. I don't know exactly how that breaks down, but I imagine with my little router that's probably pulling less than 50 watts, this will be perfect, because I'm never out of power for more than just some power flickers. And if we do actually have power that goes down for a significant amount of time, I do have a generator, so I can plug the generator in and we'll be back up and running. But the ideal scenario for right now, I'm just gonna plug this into AC and then plug my router into the AC plug on here. So this will be being charged by my house, by the grid. So essentially I'm not, you know, running it on solar or anything yet, but I am gonna buy the DC barrel jack adapter and then set this up for solar. So then essentially my router would be then running on solar and also on a battery backup. So just really weird kind of item, but I thought it was really cool. A little heavy. It comes with, it's got these D-rings right here and like a sling, I guess, if you wanted to haul it around. I wouldn't necessarily want to haul it around. Hold on one second. I have a scale right here. Let's see how heavy it is. I'm curious. 7.5 pounds. So it's like a jug of milk, you know? It's not nothing. It's not nothing. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's go get this bad boy plugged in. All right, guys. So here is the current setup. I have it plugged in right here. It is charging. I had it down to 80% playing with the light on it and stuff. But we're charging off the Type-C 65 watt charger. All this is going to get drywalled in, and we're going to put a shelf here so that way my router can stay in the window. That is one unfortunate part about living in a metal building, is it blocks a lot of the signals, since we're running this on 5G, because there's no traditional internet out here, which I do need to switch over to Starlink, but it's hard to beat these because I get 400 to 500 megabits down for $45 a month. So it's very reasonable. And then that pipes out to my switches. Anyway, the power coming out of the battery backup is right here going into our device. And I'd love to get that barrel jack in, so that way I can run that outside and then pipe and hook that up to one of my 12-volt solar panels. Maybe just throw it right here on top of the roof, and then just help offset some of that battery usage. Now, I don't know if my 100 watt 12-volt panel will feed this device enough, so eventually over time this wouldn't burn more than it's maintaining, especially in the wintertime. So I did contact the company Aaoyun, and I heard back from their support, and in this configuration you can actually plug in both your DC and well, I guess technically they're both DC, but you can plug in your barrel jack connector and your Type-C connector at the same time. So if the solar panel is then putting power out, it'll go in there and it'll help keep it charged. And if it's not, then the Type-C charger's here as well. I did inquire about the fact that is this going to hurt the battery life on the unit over time, leaving it plugged in all the time? And they said, nope, they have an integrated, smart controller inside there. So you just let it do its thing and you won't have any issues. Apparently they do come with, I believe it's a 12-month warranty. I am looking forward to doing a long-term review because I am slightly skeptical because it's one of those devices that it claims to do everything under the sun, and you know, old 7-in-1 shampoo guys are just, we flock to it. So the fact that whenever I kind of, oh, what's my dog getting into? Get out of that. Get out of that. Okay. I told my wife about this and I'm like, babe, whenever we lose power, we'll still have Wi-Fi. And she's like, how's that going to help us? And I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about plugging, you know, the Wi-Fi router into the generator. And so our phones will still work because we don't have very good cell phone signal out here. And I don't know, as a guy, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Women are probably like, I could care less. But yeah, we can even turn our little light on right here. Ta-da. I don't know. I'm just way too excited about this. Anyway, if you are interested, I'll make sure to get that discount code and stuff down below, and the link for it if you want to grab one. If you don't, that's cool too. Otherwise, we'll see you on the flip side, and maybe, I don't know, 6 months, a month, a year from now, I'd love to do a follow-up video and see how this thing's holding up. See if there's any kind of battery degradation, that kind of thing, and go from there. Anyway, guys, y'all have a good one. I'll see you on the flip side. Adios. On the back side, there is nothing. This is where the fan is. This is like a little holding spot, or I guess for like cables or something. Yeah. Bye. Quick little caveat here. I was looking at the warranty because it does come with a warranty paper. It didn't come with anything else except for a warranty paper. From the date of purchase, the warranty period is 12 months. I feel like the warranty on a lot of things nowadays, it's like everybody claims a year, but then you got to prove it, blah, blah, blah. But it does not cover the following situations: unauthorized disassembly, modification, or other malfunctions. Malfunctions arising from the use environment not meeting the product requirements, i.e. water. Natural disasters, including earthquakes and floods resulting in damage. Damage to the product casing caused by the use of the product in an incorrect way. Sorry about my airsoft gun in the background. I know a lot of people don't like that. Improper use methods not outlined in the guide. Damage caused by human factors, including dropping, water, etc. Human factors, water. We are water. We are mostly water, so that's valid. And the warranty card does not match the product model, or the product model has not been altered. So there's a guarantee card, and I have to fill it out and send it in. I'm probably not going to do that because I didn't buy the device. So if it breaks, I'm just going to make a video telling people that it broke and probably not recommending it. But if it doesn't break, I mean, it's pretty cool. So yeah. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Say bye to Mr. Cat. We'll see you on the flip side. Adios.